Another thing that another thing that I've noticed is that he seems to tend to think that all people are evil. And part of his obsession with me became that I turned out not to be evil. I've also noticed people sometimes assume that I did something stupid, fell for something really stupid, some kind of, I don't know what. But I didn't fall for anything. This just happened within 24 hours. I just became targeted. I didn't make any mistakes. I didn't do anything to cause this. I just existed. And part of this had to do with me being a foreigner. Um, yeah, I don't know. It may have been, yeah, what triggered it may have been that I was on a forum and that I somehow annoyed this guy on that forum, online forum. Because he was the only person after I met with him, I had an appointment with him. He was the only person who knew who I was, and I became targeted on that forum. He knew my real identity, and he knew what I looked like, and I got a message that I later realized referred to what I looked like. Yeah, maybe that is what triggered it. Maybe he saw my posts. I was goofing off on that forum a lot. I was bored. I mean, that's what people do online. I wasn't being nasty. I was just being silly and having fun being silly. That must have annoyed him. That may have been indeed what triggered it. And that he then saw me and thought, I'm going to get you, something like that. I don't know. It wasn't as black and white as that. I don't know. I don't know. How do I know what somebody else is thinking? I'm not a psychic. And there's always this good and bad. On the one hand, rewarding me, on the other hand, punishing me, or going nah, 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 nah. And if you focus on the good, you see just the good, but apparently this is deliberately manipulative. I've noticed that forensic psychologists tend to think the worst of people too. Oh, by the way, yeah, thinking the worst of people, thinking that everyone is out to get you, seems to be typically something that autistic people do. Because they have these misunderstandings when they don't understand certain societal habits, these understandings that we have with each other that autistic people don't always get. Things that you do and don't do, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. Not giving medical advice when you're actually functioning as a lawyer, for example, and not a doctor. Those sort of things can make autistic people very angry. I notice online too. They think that everyone is out to get them. That we autistic people are constantly doing things just to make them feel miserable. But the part of the matter is we have no clue who's autistic and who isn't. So we don't go around purposefully pestering autistic people. We just live, and those frictions cause upset, and they think we do it on purpose. They think we do this on purpose. We upset them on purpose, but again, we don't know who they are. We can't tell by looking at somebody that the person is autistic or not. We can't tell. So that's another clue, maybe. I don't know. There were other clues. I've been thinking about this for so long. That doesn't. My life is only still about this. Still, it's just about this. There wasn't anything else in my life anymore. And nobody was able to help me with this. So you start trying to figure it out yourself, what's going on. You start reading up, and you start thinking, and you start listening. And you start thinking about how you can help others who are being targeted by this, how you could prevent this sort of thing. There's no support in society for people whose brain work differently. They should get support, an interpreter, so to speak, from the get-go, but they don't. So by the time they're 20, 25, they are as angry as hell. And this doesn't get corrected. Sounds too harsh. Remedied. And they become angrier and angrier and angrier, and they start targeting random people who they feel have slighted them, which is often just through their sheer existence. For example, being a Stacy, I think it's called, or being a Becky.